Did Metro schools deprive a young student of her education just to boost her school's test scores?
Tonight, that question, first raised by News Channel 5 Investigates, has now made its way to the Tennessee Court of Appeals as the student's attorney argues she deserves to have her day in court.
Our chief investigative reporter Phil Williams continues to follow the story.
Earlier this year, a Davidson County chancellor dismissed a class action lawsuit filed against Nashville schools over the district's testing practices. Now, in this just filed brief, the attorney for one student is asking the appeals court to allow her case to proceed. Do you feel like the school system cheated you?
Yes, I do.
We first met Tony Jones last fall. She told us how in 2013, when she was a freshman at Pearl Cone High School, she was pulled from Algebra 1, a course she was actually passing, and told to study it on a computer.
It's just basically they give you the classes and you have to do them.
On your own?
On your own.
And you didn't have an algebra teacher sitting there with you? What Tony did not know was that she had not scored well on a series of practice tests that are supposed to predict how well she would perform on a critical end-of-course exam. That exam is also used to judge how well the school is performing.
All of these students, the ones that got pulled, have that in common. They did not perform well on the predictive tests.
Former Pearl Cone guidance counselor Kelly Brown was one of two Metro Schools insiders who blew the whistle on the district's testing practices. Why would they do that?
I mean, the only reason is because they want their scores to go up. That's the only reason.
And what we are trying to determine is there a constitutional right to remain in your Algebra 1 class?
But after a lawsuit was filed on Tony's behalf, Metro lawyers convinced the judge the practice did not violate her constitutional rights.
If that's not a denial of a fundamental right of education, what would they have to do to deny that right?
Now Tony's lawyer, in a brief just filed with the Court of Appeals, argues to deprive a student of a teacher and an opportunity to complete a required course is to deprive her of an education.
Sooner or later after that, I just gave up.
As for what happened to Tony, her lawyer argues the removal had nothing to do with her well-being or placement in a class better suited to her needs. This decision was made for the benefit of those who might profit from better averages. Now, Metro's own internal review found no evidence that the orders came from the top, although emails that we recently uncovered suggest it did. Because the lawsuit was quickly dismissed, Tony's lawyer, Gary Blackburn, never got a chance to question school officials under oath. He is now hoping the Court of Appeals will give him that chance. Rory?